Welcome to Midnight Signal AI. It's April 19th, 2026. Tonight, Bill Maher tells Silicon Valley to pump the brakes on AI. Elon Musk's universal income debate heats up. A college instructor swaps laptops for typewriters, and new data on the global AI race. We'll also cover the latest from NVIDIA's Jensen Huang, a bizarre anti-AI attack targeting OpenAI's Sam Altman, and more. Let's get into it. Let's kick off with a story making waves in both tech and mainstream media. Bill Maher, the comedian and commentator, has publicly urged top tech CEOs to halt further AI deployment. According to Let's Data Science, Maher's call is aimed especially at leaders like Elon Musk and Sam Altman, citing fears of runaway AI consequences and a lack of clear regulation. It's not just a comedy bit. He's framing AI as a societal risk that demands a pause, not just safe development.
This is pretty significant. When figures outside the tech echo chamber start making noise, it means AI anxiety is hitting the mainstream. Maher's influence isn't technical, but he shapes public sentiment, and that can put real pressure on lawmakers, or at least get more people questioning the Silicon Valley playbook. It's not unlike those calls for social media regulation a few years back. Slow at first, but they changed the conversation.
Exactly. And it's not just about stopping AI outright, but about the speed and scale of deployment. Maher's argument is that CEOs are racing ahead without enough guardrails, and he's urging a collective pause. Whether that's realistic or not, it's a sign that public figures see the window for proactive regulation closing fast.
But let's be honest, tech leaders aren't likely to hit the brakes unless there's legal or financial incentive. Still, this kind of pressure could accelerate government action, or at least more public debate about what responsible AI actually looks like in practice.
Speaking of Silicon Valley icons, Elon Musk is back in headlines for his bold takes on AI and the economy. Multiple outlets, including AOL.com and Benzinga, are reporting Musk's latest argument that if AI and robots massively increase productivity, governments will have to issue direct payments to citizens or risk widespread disinflation and social instability.
Musk's position isn't new. He's been talking up universal basic income for years, but he's getting more specific about the risks. He's basically saying, if machines do all the work, you can't just let people go broke. You need to get money to them or the economy stalls out. It's a provocative take, but increasingly hard to dismiss as automation ramps up.
And there's real debate around it. MSN points out that while Musk says government checks are the best way to handle AI-driven job losses, plenty of economists and policy experts aren't so sure. They question both the feasibility and effectiveness of large-scale direct payments, especially without broader social support systems.
Right, the devil's in the details. Universal income sounds straightforward, but implementing it at scale is a political and logistical challenge. Still, the fact that this debate is front and center among tech elites, and not just in academic circles, shows how urgent the AI job displacement issue is becoming.
That urgency is also reflected in the latest policy debates. IndexBox covers how Musk's universal high income idea is sparking discussion ahead of the 2026 elections. The framing has shifted from if to when and how much, as more leaders recognize AI-driven automation could reshape the workforce sooner than expected.
And it's not just theoretical. As AI adoption skyrockets, we're already seeing disruptions in everything from manufacturing to white-collar work. That's forcing politicians, not just technologists, to come up with answers quickly. The 2026 debate could be a turning point for how societies adapt to the new labor landscape.
Shifting gears, let's talk about tech's growing concentration of power. Mother Jones has a deep dive on how the American tech oligarchy, think Musk, Zuckerberg, Altman, has gone hyperscale in the AI era. The piece explores how a handful of billionaires now drive not just software, but the infrastructure, rules, and ethics of AI itself.
This is a crucial trend. We've seen tech consolidation before, but AI is multiplying that effect. These leaders control the big models, the data, and increasingly the policy conversations. That raises tough questions like who decides where the limits are, and what happens if their interests diverge from the public's.
And it fuels the kind of skepticism we saw with Bill Maher's comments earlier. When just a few players shape the future of such powerful technology, the stakes and the public scrutiny get a lot higher. On the education front, here's a story from Sentinel, Colorado that's getting a lot of buzz on Hacker News. One college instructor has banned laptops and turned to typewriters in class to curb AI-written work. The idea is to force students to write authentically and learn through struggle instead of outsourcing essays to chatbots.
It sounds retro, but it's a creative response to the explosion of AI-generated assignments. It's less about nostalgia and more about finding ways to keep assessment meaningful. The fact that this is gaining traction online shows how disruptive AI has already been to traditional education models.
And it's not just about cheating. The instructor argues that typewriters teach focus, patience, and original thinking, skills that are arguably more valuable now that AI can churn out generic text in seconds. Shifting to the global AI race, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang is making headlines for two reasons. First, according to GeoNews, he's warning that China could soon overtake the US in AI, citing massive investments and a relentless push in hardware and research. Second, the Economic Times reports Huang recently lost his cool during a public event, underscoring the pressure and intensity at the top of the chip world.
Huang's warning isn't just rhetoric, it's a wake-up call for U.S. policymakers and industry leaders. If China catches up or surpasses the U.S. in AI, it could shift the balance of power in everything from tech to geopolitics. And as NVIDIA's chips power much of today's AI, Huang has a front-row seat to the global arms race.
And that public outburst? It's rare for a CEO at his level, but maybe a sign of just how high the stakes are. NVIDIA's position is being challenged by both international competition and relentless demand for more powerful chips. On a related note, Forbes reports that Huang's pivot towards AI and crypto has sent markets surging. Some are calling it the $1 trillion moment for AI-linked crypto assets. The intersection between AI infrastructure and digital currencies is heating up fast.
We're seeing a blurring of lines between different tech sectors. When a company like NVIDIA signals a new direction, it ripples through both AI and crypto markets. Investors are betting that whoever controls the hardware and the software will dominate the next wave of digital innovation.
Speaking of high stakes, a disturbing story from LGBTQ Nation, an anti-AI activist has been charged with firebombing the home of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. The attack appears targeted both at his identity and his role in advancing AI technology.
This is a grim reminder of how polarized the AI debate has become. What started as theoretical arguments about risks and benefits is now spilling into real-world violence. It's a wake-up call that AI isn't just a technical issue, it's deeply political, cultural, and personal.
And as AI becomes more central to society, these kinds of flashpoints may become more common. It's a signal that the stakes aren't just economic or technological, they're also about identity, power, and who gets to shape the future. Meanwhile, on the campaign trail, Gizmodo reports that Donald Trump was asked about a recent White House meeting with Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei, and his response was, "Who?" It's a moment that underscores both the rapid rise of new AI players and the sometimes surprising gaps in political awareness.
It's almost funny, but it highlights a real disconnect. AI companies like Anthropic are shaping national policy, but even top politicians aren't always familiar with the key players. It shows how quickly this space is evolving and how hard it is for regulators and leaders to keep up.
For a broader view, IEEE Spectrum has published a set of graphs that sum up the state of AI in 2026. According to Hacker News, this State of AI Index is sparking a lot of conversation, with key takeaways around exponential growth in model size, data usage, and investment.
These visualizations really drive home just how fast everything is accelerating. The number of parameters, the compute needed, the amount of investment, it's all up and to the right. But the growth is uneven. Some regions and sectors are surging ahead, while others are struggling to keep pace. It's a snapshot of both promise and widening gaps.
And finally, a quick note on the infrastructure side. TechStock2 reports that Tesla's Terafab hiring spree is putting Elon Musk's AI chip ambitions on the clock. As Tesla pushes deeper into custom hardware for self-driving and robotics, the race to secure top engineering talent is more intense than ever.
The hardware bottleneck is real. As big models demand more compute, companies like Tesla and NVIDIA are scrambling to build in-house solutions. That means fierce competition for engineers, designers, and supply chains. Whoever wins this battle could set the pace for the next decade of AI innovation.
That's the brief. We'll be back when the machines have more to say.